Y'all remember trying to cancel Kanye West because he went on TMZ and they asked him questions about slavery and he said 400 years? That sounds like a choice. And now in 2024, I totally get what he meant. Nigga, it's been 400 years. Y'all gonna still keep operating like slaves? We gonna keep getting on this app talking about how we paying for food, electricity, water, shelter, transportation, basic necessities, basic needs. We're always in survival mode. You gotta work 40 hours of your week at a job that's gonna take half of your check to pay for taxes, to send to Israel, to fund a genocide that you never approved, while you can't even get fucking health insurance. It is actually like, bruh, niggas, slavery, slaves, coon niggas is what we dealing with.
My grandmother is 104 years old
today, right?
She's alive today. Not my great grandmother. Let me break that down again. My grandmother is 104 years old, still alive with us today. She was born 7 years after Harriet Tubman died. 7 years.
Fresh.
That mentality, listen to the connection I'm about to make to you. The people who were alive in that era and still in the era of my grandmother, who is still with us today, still have the mentality that black people should be enslaved, that black people shouldn't have the right to vote, that black people, in order to vote, should be reading how many damn jelly beans are inside of a jelly jar. That ideology never died. It just became covert. It was overt, meaning it was in our faces. People were being lynched. People were being attacked. 1965, the Civil Rights Act was passed. It just moved everything from in front of your face to behind closed doors. So, and they have kids, and those kids have kids, and those kids are part of Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. That mentality never died. There's a human connection and a human praxis, and those people that are those millennials and those Gen X, those people are your lawyers, are your judges, are your teachers, are your nurses, are your doctors, are your librarians, are your Congress people. That's what that is.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and that's probably why the world fucked up. A lot of retarded people. Let me explain. He talking about his mom or his grandma is 104 years old, and she believe, or people like her believe, that black people should be enslaved, shouldn't have the right to vote. They carried on that mentality. Now, I never agree with this train of thought because motherfuckers was free. So, like, that's stupid. Not only that, with the progression of time, people evolve, they change. My stepdad is 80 years old. He remembers when the television didn't exist, or at least he remember in Mississippi when they didn't have TVs, they just had radios. And when he finally saw a color TV, it blew his mind away. Even a remote control, I think the remote control came out in the 70s. When he saw a remote and how it could turn the TV on from across the room, shit blew his mind. He said it was like sorcery. However, as time went by, he got adjusted to it. He got used to it. Things changed from I think he would have been 10 years old, 1955. His mind had adjusted to seeing things by 1955 and 1965 and so on and so forth. He wasn't stuck in the paradigm of 1955, right? As you evolve, you get older. As you get older, you evolve. So if his grandma was born in 1901, by the time 1922 came around, she was 20-something years old. She should have been adjusted to time. And then 1942, and then 1962, and so on and so forth. Just stupid. Like, grandma was a goddamn, I don't know. Maybe there are people that stay enslaved mentally their whole goddamn life. I don't see how that's possible. Nor do I agree with that, though. I think he's just like pulling something out his ass. Oh, and right here, just reinforce my story about my grandfather or about my stepdad. He was born in 1944. The television wasn't invented till 1927, but he lived in rural Mississippi, so he didn't see a television until about the 50s. So for all the people that trying to, oh, TV came out in 1927, he would have been, yeah, he would have if he lived in an urban like environment. This ain't, people forget the internet didn't exist, cable didn't exist. It wasn't like you had to live in a specific location. You had to live in the concrete jungle for a television to be within your like radius or circumference. You lived out in rural Mississippi. They didn't have wires and electricity in certain areas, so he wouldn't have saw one. In any event, I hope that made sense. If there are people that got slave mentalities like his grandma, it's 2025. We moving into the future. Hopefully some of these people will be slowly but surely phased out. You know what I'm saying? It'll stop slowing up the progress of mankind. Because as much as Donald Trump seems to be telling the truth and for the people, at almost 80 years old, bro, we gotta get you out of here. Him, Joe Biden, all these old relics. Maybe, I don't know. I know with the white relics, they still operate on a paradigm of 1959. For the black ones, I don't understand. Like, you've seen Jim Crow. His grandma seen Jim Crow, segregation, Martin Luther King shot, Malcolm X shot, sexual revolution in 1970s, 1980, Michael Jackson, Thriller, the moon landing, all that fly shit. The moonwalk, I mean. She's seen VCRs, televisions, remotes, DVD players, streaming. Like, come on. Somebody please give his grandma a goddamn fucking book. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.